across political party MPs, also members of your fraternity, former diplomats. Do you believe it's a great idea? And what do you believe will be the main objective of these delegations once they begin to depart from India, I think starting tomorrow?
It's a very good initiative, I think, and even earlier, if you recall, all party delegations have gone. But this particular 7 delegations to go to different parts of the world, I think, is a very good initiative and indicates that there is unity across party lines. This is something which I think all the parties have also mentioned, that this is not something that is political, it is something for the country, and they're all happy to join. Of course, barring a few here and there have been some voices, but otherwise, it is a really good initiative, and we have the diplomats on board, I think, former ambassadors, gives a certain, they know whom to approach and how to approach. Not whom would be done by the, by the current serving ambassadors in these countries, but the ambassadors accompanying them would be able to coordinate better and be able to contribute, and of course the briefing is done by the central government, but this would, the ambassadors would enable a more focused and precise sort of interaction with and interaction with whomever they meet. But of course, mainly they would target the government officials, media. I think it's very important to meet the media, and because if you look at all the media in different countries, they have been only projecting a one-sided view very often, we saw. And so it is something that is important, and civil society in these countries, including Indian diaspora. So all this will be an important outreach to all these voices in the respective countries, and Africa and everywhere, in Europe and US and Russia, everywhere there will be this outreach. It will help to correct perception and along with, and to say that this is not something that was anti-Pakistan or Pakistan in India related, it was something to do with terrorism. And that message, I think, needs to be given to the world, that this is not something that we are trying to attack Pakistan or that was an attempt to obliterate Pakistan. It is an attempt to end terrorism and to target terrorism. And that's why, if you saw, the precision attacks were only on terror hideouts, terror training centers, and based on intelligence. And as was indicated, it's not only India's intelligence, it's international intelligence which has given these, which has corroborated these places as being, as harboring terrorist training centers and terrorists themselves. So and we saw that people who died in some of these attacks, they were given honor, given state honors, military honors. It is something which is quite absurd. So I think this is something that India would like to highlight, that how can you have people who are killed as terrorists, being given sort of their attended funeral sessions by men in uniform, the national flags on their bodies, and wreaths from the army chief. So I think that's a clear indication of how entrenched and how much support the government there is giving to terrorists and encouraging them in their sort of attempt to go and attack and create terror in India and other countries as well, but particularly India. For them.
All right, Ambassador Seth, thank you for joining us with your